Hello everybody, my name's Double Pulse. Welcome back to Thunder Pulse Gaming. I'm here with Thunder once again.
What's up, everybody?
And we are actually going to be talking about PS4's or Sony's E3 conference this time. Last time we talked about Xbox, now we're going to talk about Sony and how Sony had a little bit of streaming issues during their conference. I never noticed it, but apparently Thunder noticed the whole streaming issues, but yeah.
Yeah, they were losing sound and all that bullshit.
Yeah. So I guess in general, what did you think about this one? Like, before we get into any of the games, overall, would you say that this conference was a good conference?
It was alright. I mean, it wasn't as good as Xbox's, but the games that were on there were interesting.
I would say if the one difference, I think, and I don't think that they could have did anything, anything in terms of the, tech-related portion where they just talk about the consoles and stuff like that. But the one difference that's between Xbox and PlayStation's for sure was that Xbox probably spent a good portion of time talking about the Xbox One X, while Sony pretty much just said, you know what, here's what we're going to show you, all the games. The problem, like we said last time, is the games we kind of already knew about. Like, I don't know if we've seen any new games. For instance, we got an update on the Uncharted 4 DLC that's supposed to be releasing, which I would definitely interested in playing for sure. The one that we're both interested in, I would say, is probably Days Gone. Isn't it? Is that what it's called? Yeah, Days Gone?
Days Gone, yeah.
I was gonna say Days Gone By, but I don't know why. I think I'm thinking of the freaking the Walking Dead episode or some shit like that. But I guess what makes Days Gone interesting is it kind of reminds you a little bit like Last of Us, but kind of not really. Like, I'm not quite sure how related it's going to be in terms of the zombies, but granted, I think this one might be very similar to how, like, Last of Us was. What would you say? Did you seem like Last of Us?
Kind of, but different, because you can use the zombies against your enemies.
Right. And I don't think in Last of Us that one had a very much aspect. But then again, I don't know, did they show... They didn't... One thing that... Speaking of that, they actually didn't show Last of Us this time around. So that's kind of an interesting...
No, because I don't know if it got delayed or if it's not coming out until 2019.
Chances are it's probably going to come out next year or got delayed. Mind you, there is PlayStation Experience. Now, I could be wrong, but PlayStation Experience might still happen, so they could be saving all their, big talk there. One thing I think the conference might have needed improvement as well is that there wasn't really anything. And I think this is back with the audio thing. The audio happened during the Uncharted Lost Legacy one.
Mm-hmm.
But were there any other games on this conference? Because, like, one thing I'll say this, like, I think Sony's conference was all about the games. Like, there was no tech stuff, and some of the games were actually pretty cool, like the new Spider-Man game.
Yeah,
I don't know if I have not been interested in a Spider-Man game for a long time, and I'm interested in this one. I would also say that God of War was probably something that I am kind of interested in, not really. Because, like, I've never was a huge God of War fan, but I like the layout of this one a little bit better, so I might be willing to play it. But this one came to me as kind of a shocker. I kind of expected this game from Nintendo, but Microsoft. I mean, possibly Microsoft as well. But Sony releasing gameplay footage of Monster Hunter World. I mean, that's a game that I would hope to come to the Switch, but, I mean, Monster Hunter World this is like the first time I think it's coming to the PS4. In general, I think it's been a while since it's come to Sony platforms. Last time I remember Monster Hunter was on the PS2. I don't know
that was 2 generations ago, bro.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever played Monster Hunter.
I wasn't a big Monster Hunter dude.
Well, neither was I, but...
Because the PS2 had all the Tony Hawk games. That's what I was doing.
Oh, you were busy playing Tony Hawk and shit like that.
Tony Hawk and baseball.
Yeah. It seems like with PlayStation VR, even though I'm not like a die-hard fan of the VR situation, I think the VR, I personally didn't care for the VR stuff, but some people are complaining how the VR content was kind of lacking in this conference, where there wasn't a whole lot of VR.
It's gonna die like the Vita, bro.
I don't think it's gonna die like the Vita, but I think VR is one of those niches where not many people really care about it. Like, and one of the things that, they have with VR, which I thought was kind of silly, is freaking Skyrim, and then Fallout and all that other stuff. Like, do we really need another Skyrim as VR? I don't think so. I mean, the Switch is a different story, because I think the Switch, you can take it on the go and it's got Amiibo, but I just don't know. VR, Skyrim, they've already done it. They've done it on the PC version a few years back, where they had the freaking big-ass machines that people walk in, and did the VR there. So I don't quite understand why the VR here is going to be anything, spectacular.
Yeah.
Was there anything else that really stood out?
Horizon Zero Dawn got an expansion, the Frozen Wilds. So,
all right.
I'm really debating on getting that game to play solo, but I'm not sure if I'll like it. That's the issue. I mean, I've seen some gameplay, it was good, but I don't know if I like it. I don't know. It's just one of those games where it's like both. It's good, bad, I don't know. Then you got the Call of Duty World War II. Like, yeah, Call of Duty's fine and all. It's just, ever since they go pay to win, like guns are in supply drops, it's never been the same game. And then they're putting zombies in every single Call of Duty now, which is stupid. They should just leave it to one console, or one company doing it like Treyarch.
Right.
But that's their product, not mine, so...
Right. I mean, I don't know. I would say that overall, I would say this one was not necessarily lackluster. I don't know if lackluster would be the right word. I would say it was kind of one word I would definitely use is kind of desensitizing, since we've already, at least I have already seen most of these games. And,
same. Except for Call of Duty, even though it's just different.
Right.
And it's mostly Sony's game now. I mean, because they're getting it. I mean, the game's coming out same in everybody, but they're getting the DLC first. That's the only difference.
Yeah. I mean, I guess since we're on the topic of Sony, there was talk with on the other ones how they had crossplay. I'll probably end up doing a video separately on this one later, but just to briefly mention here, apparently Sony, with this whole crossplay thing, Sony's not letting people do crossplay. So
even though Rocket League's already doing it with PC and PS4, because I was playing that earlier. And
they're not going to. I don't know how that's going to work. They said they're not going to connect with Xbox though. So one thing I find kind of annoying here is that Xbox, the Switch, the PC are all down to do this, and they would do it not just with Rocket League but with Minecraft. And the reason why Sony doesn't want to do it is because it's too dangerous and they need to think of the children. I wish I was making that up, but apparently that's the excuse that's going around. I don't know if it's 100% accurate, but a lot of people are like, oh my god, it's dangerous for the children. Xbox and PlayStation can't get along. And I think that if they would have done that, and they would say, hey, let's do this cross-play, people would buy more consoles, people would buy more games, people actually play together, because isn't that going to be what the fun, isn't that what people want to do?
I guess not.
I guess not. But overall, that's pretty much all I have to say for the conference. I will say that I think Spider-Man might have been the best thing for a lot of people. Spider-Man, Days Gone, and...
What about that Shadow of the... how do you say it? Shadow of the Oqualius? If I said that right?
No, my God, you totally messed that up. Shadow Colossus.
Colossus, oh, my bad.
Shadow Colossus is an old PS2 game that was that I remember was being made, and they were supposed to be... I don't know if there was ever supposed to be a sequel to it, but they decided to remake the game for PlayStation 4 that's going to look, a whole lot better. I think it's a PS2 title. I could be wrong, but I'm almost certain it was a PS2 title, and that a lot of people liked it, and now they want it to...
I want it back in my life.
But, with remakes, they're all going to do remakes,
they didn't even talk about Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, speaking of it, they never talked about that, but I think it's because...
It's already coming. Well, they talked about it last year, and the game's coming out sometime at the end of the end of this month.
I don't think they would talk about that because of how common it is to, how close it's to release. The other game, one more other game too, before I even close it off. Detroit. Have you seen that? Have you seen Detroit?
I don't know if I would play something like that though.
That, I don't know. That one kind of had a little bit of a feel of jeez. People were saying it had a feel of a particular game, like it was like Watch Dogs shit, but with androids. That's what people were saying. I'm like, wow, okay. I don't know. Maybe I'll give it a try. But yeah, I would say that it's fair to say that it was kind of a lackluster, mainly because most of these games were games that we've already seen, but still kind of had a few highlights. So slightly above. Oh God, I don't know if it's slightly above or slightly below average. I would say it's one of the two.
I'll give it about 7.5.
Yeah, about 7.5. That's actually making it nice. But alright, I'm pretty much ready to end the video if you are.
Yeah,
if you
I'm good.
Have else to say.
Good.
We'll probably end up covering Bethesda's next, and then we'll probably end up covering Nintendo's. But if you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Check out the social media. Check out the other channels. There will be probably an update in the future to Thunderpulse Gaming to just tell you guys what's going on with this channel, because we haven't really gave a full update on it. But we'll save that for another video. And as always, TPG out, and goodbye.
Later, bros.
Huh?
I said later, bros.
Gosh, I'm tired. Let's just